Why we should be more patient with children. Patience is the capacity to accept, tolerate, delay, trouble, suffering without anger. Patience is also the gift of being able to see past the emotion. I personally have lost my patience with children, especially my own. I have also witnessed many occasions where children were having meltdowns in public. Throughout this speech, I hope that you gain the knowledge to understand why it's important to be patient with children, especially those with social issues. Being patient with children will help avoid meltdowns and high-stress situations, especially for children with social issues. As a mom with a child with social issues, I had to learn patience to help her avoid confusion. I have also done research on children with social issues and how to discipline them without losing the child's trust or me losing my patience. Today I will talk about being patient with all children and how it's very important because you can't tell by looking at a child having a meltdown whether or not they have social issues. Social issues affect children. This is pretty much the autistic spectrum disorder, or ASD. According to the American Speech, Language, Hearing, and Association website, ASHA.org, children with ADS have social, communication, and language problems. ADS has two main issues, autism and Asperger's, although now they just put it all into one spectrum. Autistic kids have more meltdowns than kids without social issues. In his 2007 book, Unstrange Minds, Remapping the World of Autism, Roy Richard Brinker said that it used to be that 1 in 10,000 children were autistic, according to the Center of Disease Control. But now it's 1 in 150 kids. Now that you understand more about social issues and why children may have meltdowns in public places, I'm going to explain to you the difference between a tantrum and a meltdown. There is a big difference between tantrums and meltdowns. In a tantrum, a child is looking for a reaction to get what he wants. They last a short time, and the child is in control of their emotions, surroundings, and the child will avoid getting hurt. In meltdowns, they are not looking for a reaction or care how people react to their behavior. Meltdowns last a long time. Children are not in control of their emotions because they're massively overstimulated, and they may hurt themselves because they are reacting on a primal level. Now that you understand the difference between a tantrum and a meltdown, I will show you how adults can display more patience to all children to help them gain tools to cope with their surroundings. No matter where they are, children can learn patience through example. According to PBS.org, there are 5 facts that every family should know. All behavior is a form of communication. There is always a reason for the problem behavior. There are many reasons behind the specific behavior. And adults can learn, understand, interpret these challenging behaviors by education. The behavior can be reduced with support and not punishment. Children with ADS can be taught coping skills, but it takes more patience from the adults around them. More education for public awareness. Bystanders should never approach the child. Bystanders can approach the parent, offer help, but never judge. Upon witnessing a child's meltdown in a public place, don't judge, ridicule, condemn. Instead, be respectful, kind, and lend a helping hand. Those are the moments a parent will forever remember. Bystanders should never judge. It is also important for everyone to be aware because children are in public places. We may be parents, they may be your children's friends, classmates, as teachers, or in church, in the public library, in stores, in outdoor public places like the beach, amusement parks. Now that you have more information on how to be more patient with children, especially those with social issues, I want to talk about what happens when we change how we respond, react, and discipline children. Children having a meltdown don't need punishment. They need understanding. Children act out in public places more than at home, according to Susan Lawton's 2007 book, Asperger's Syndrome, Natural Steps to a Better Life, because the home environment is less stressful. First and foremost, their needs need to be met. Low tones and hugs instead of harsher tones and physical discipline. With my experience with my daughter, the calmer that I was, the quicker she came out of a meltdown. Distractions in the stores help keep her mind off the triggers. And for her, it was mostly the stress of being with too many people. Crowds would set her off. Some people believe that children should behave no matter what. According to the Good Health Guide's Emotional Ups and Downs book by Ended Fisher, kids are dealing with death, either a person or a pet, divorce, hiding embarrassing problems, dealing with bullying, dealing with puberty at an early age, more today than when I was young. If you observe a parent with a child who's having a meltdown, offer help, but don't criticize their parenting. Don't rudely stare, criticize their child, or be judgmental. Offer an encouraging word, a nod, or a smile. Try to remain calm. Don't get loud, and create a scene which draws even more attention to the parent and the child. Remove any objects that you might see in a child's path. Reach that could possibly cause harm to him or her or anyone else in the close proximity. Do not assume the child is spoiled, rude, being a brat. Do try to be kind and supportive in whichever way you could possibly can. Do not tell the parent to keep their child at home if they cannot control them in public. Children still need discipline. Some choose to spank, some choose to yell at their kids, and think others should too. Some parents choose timeouts, and some choose positive parenting. I personally agree that children need discipline. No matter what they face, discipline, though, means to teach, so it matters how a child is disciplined. We must hold them accountable, but never respond in a negative way because it makes things worse. A child having a meltdown needs privacy, but not publicly disciplined, spanking, yelling, or timeout. If a child can't calm down, it's okay to go home. We ignore the bad behavior, focus on the positives, and what the child is doing right. Anytime that I'm in the store now, I try to help as much as I can because I know and I've been there, and it's very, very stressful. So remain patient at all times with any children. First, I told you how being patient with all children helps avoid meltdowns. Secondly, I told you the difference between tantrums and meltdowns. Then I told you the difference between punishments and positive tools for all children. Finally, I talked about changing how we respond, react, and discipline. Children having a meltdown will affect everyone who deals with children at some point. Being patient with all children will help avoid meltdowns in high-stress situations, especially for children with social issues. The definitions of patience is a capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. As I stated before, I know personally I can think of a few times where I've lost my patience with my children or somebody else's. I have also witnessed many occasions in public places where children have had meltdowns. So I ask that the next time you are in public and you see or hear a child having a meltdown, to please make the right choice and choose to help rather than to pass judgment.